symptomatic. So in the NBA, you have to have 2 consecutive negative PCR tests or 10 days. So I think when you're symptomatic, you pretty much count on those 10 days. So he'll be out for a little while here. And it's disappointing for Embiid and the Sixers because they've been in a roll here. I mean, and I don't know of any player who's been more cautious than Joel Embiid in dealing with COVID-19. Remember a couple years ago when he showed up to the bubble in a hazmat suit?
Right. Absolutely. There he is.
And I remember talking to him about this, and he said, I wouldn't have gone to the bubble if I didn't think we had a chance to win that year because he was that concerned about COVID-19. And at the time, he had a little baby on the way and did not want to bring that home to his baby or his pregnant partner. And now you do everything right and still end up with a breakthrough.
And that's the sentiment from checking in with guys on the team that I've gotten to, is that we feel like we've done everything right. So he is experiencing symptoms. We wish him a speedy recovery. And Embiid joins Tobias Harris, Matisse Thybulle, and Isaiah Joe as the Sixers in COVID protocol. So you mentioned it. They've been rolling. How does Philadelphia plan to move forward once again now?
Well, this is a good reason they went out and got Andre Drummond. I mean, this is going to help here as they try to move through this stretch. But this is a real setback for them. I mean, they're 8-2, leading in the Eastern Conference. They had a huge win in Chicago the other day, celebration in that locker room. And this is, I don't think many of us thought they would go on a roll like this after losing Tobias Harris and Thybulle. But they've won a couple of big games here. Joel Embiid hit that dagger against the Bulls to win that game. And here you go. It's just been one thing after another. He's had the knee injury that he's been working through and playing through. He was going to sit this game no matter what for rest, but now, obviously, with the positive test, it's going to be out a little while.
And hopefully he feels better soon. Much more on the 76ers coming up later in the show. But first, Ramona, let's go coast to coast around the NBA, starting with the Nets, who after starting 2 and 3 have now won 5 in a row. Kevin Durant is leading the league in scoring over 28 points per game.
Look how that happens.
I know. I mean, what do you think? What do you think of them so far?
Oh, I think he's the MVP favorite at this point. That was my preseason pick for MVP, and he's playing right up to it again.
So we're going to move over to the Celtics, who got some bad news on Monday that Jaylen Brown will miss 1 to 2 weeks with a right hamstring strain. Kendrick Perkins, how concerned are you with the Celtics having no Jaylen Brown?
I'm very concerned. Look, the leading scorer on the team, he's been very consistent. I'm very scared for the Celtics.
Well, let's give some love to 2 surprise teams in the East, the Wizards and the Cavaliers. They just keep winning. Washington is now 7 and 3, while Cleveland has won 4 in a row. But it was announced earlier today that Colin Sexton has a torn meniscus, and there's no timetable for his return. But senior NBA insider reported that he said that he's expected to have an extended absence. And in the 2 LA teams, they're heading in kind of in different directions. The Lakers are without LeBron and lost by 15 in Portland, while the Clippers, they got Serge Ibaka back, and they closed out the Hornets on a 27-4 run to win their 4th straight game after starting 1-4. So now let's take a look and listen to the weekend soundtrack.
Luka can walk the ball all the way down and take the final shot.
Here he comes. It's Luka against Josh Richardson. Luka's 3 to win. Luka Magic on a Saturday night.
Love it. For 1 second, I just stood there. I didn't realize I made it.
But he's got a little bit of time. Launches. Body ball.
Rubio.
Fakes. Fires. Puts it in again.
Ricky Rubio. He to go.
Nuggets hanging on to a 1-point lead. Tate inside.
We are trying to be a good defensive team. Power just happened to be there,
And Anthony's ahead of the pack. He'll throw this one with the left. Oh, Anthony putting on a show.
I've been looking forward to one of these in person for quite some time, right?
Facts. Shout out to the team, man. Shout out to RJ. Shout out to Dell. Shout out to Mo Bamba. Shout out to my whole team, man. We had to go get that dub, man. Shout out to the Magic, man. Let's go.
Man, I love news. I love journalism. I love facts.
There you go.
Cole Anthony.
Yeah.
I mean,
that guy can play.
That might be my winner of the weekend. But Perk, who was yours?
It's the Washington Wizards.
All right.
And shout out to Bradley Beal, right? I was one of those guys for staying put, saying that he should leave, but no, he's holding it down, being the leader on and off the court, putting up big numbers. Shout out to Kyle Kuzma, who's coming in and showing people that, hey, I could get it done without LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Shout out to Montrezl Harrell, whose season didn't end well last night, who's averaging 18 and 9 off the bench. The Wizards played great team basketball, and they had 2 huge wins over the weekend, beating the Memphis Grizzlies and the Milwaukee Bucks. Yep. So shout out to the Wizards.
Big game, big game.
All right, I'm going to go with the Cavs on this one
All right.
because they also have 2 big wins. And look, the Wizards are a great pick, but the Cavs have wins over Toronto and the Knicks this past weekend. And I made this pick pre-Woj bomb, okay, with Colin Sexton.
All right.
But Darius Garland's played fantastic. Ricky Rubio is back.
37 points. I wanted him to hit that 3 at the end so bad.
I got to roll my R's for as a Latino. Ricky Rubio, okay, had a big game in that one. And, of course, Mobley's been very good for them. Jared Allen, a lot of people question whether that big man rotation would work, even with Lauri Markkanen out there playing small forward. He's been a little dinged up, but so far so good on the results.
Ricky Rubio.
See?
What do you got, Ramona?
I'm going to go with Kevin Durant, okay? And I was one of those who was sitting about 10 feet away when he tore his Achilles up in Toronto. So for him to go back there, play a game up there, and leading the league in scoring again, playing at MVP level, especially with the way that Brooklyn has started slowly this year, I think for him to show how far back he's come from that Achilles injury, going back up to the north where it happened, that's my winner of the week.
For the first time.
Yeah,
I think
for the first time.
So much time has passed, we forget that it was the first time that he was up there. So I love being positive. I love happy. But if those were the winners of the weekend, flip the coin. Who's got to step it up, George?
The Hornets, they've lost 4 in a row. Now, they get the chance today, right, to play against the Lakers here in Los Angeles and kind of redeem themselves. But here's the thing. This was a trendy pick, right? Oh, this team, maybe they can win the division and then win the Southeast. Not so fast. Let's pump the brakes a little bit because in this league, generally speaking, you have to grow, right? Young teams don't just get vaunted into the postseason play and become dominant. They've got some players on this team. There's no question about that. Miles Bridges may be the most improved player, but they've got a ways to grow here still, and they're learning through that right now.
They've been in the league in offense for the first couple of weeks there, and people start to make adjustments.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Russell Westbrook. That stat line the other night, 1 for 13. At least he didn't go 1 for 20, I guess. But that was a tough weekend for him, and especially when LeBron James and Anthony Davis are out. This is what they brought Russell Westbrook to Los Angeles to do. When the stars are hurt, when the stars are out, you be the third star. And Russell Westbrook has carried teams before all by himself, and it did not happen up in Portland.
So we have then Perk as the tiebreaker. Who are you? Where do you fall in all this in the Hornets versus Russ?
I'm going with Ramona on this one, and y'all know how I feel about the Brody Russell Westbrook. But like Ramona said, he was brought to LA for one reason and one reason only, and that's to win the championship. And right now, forget the missed shots. Him at the point guard position, he's not doing a great job of running the team. I believe he had 6 turnovers the other night. He had a crucial turnover the game before when they could have had a chance, I believe, to either take the league on a fast break. And Russell Westbrook has to get his mental back. He has to be more engaged. He has to come back to the Russell Westbrook that we seen on the tear last year with the Washington Wizards. And right now, he has been a disappointment.
Well, he's going to have another chance. They're back at it tonight to see if he can be the one that sort of rights that ship a little bit. And then with, LaMelo Ball, he said afterwards, maybe I needed to come in a little earlier in the fourth quarter. So we'll see how, little call out there. We'll see how that all shakes out. So we're 10 games into the season. So we might as well look at the favorites to win some awards. According to Caesars Sportsbook, it is Steph Curry that is the front runner for MVP. Raptors rookie Scotty Barnes is the favorite for Rookie of the Year. Rudy Gobert once again for Defensive Player of the Year. Ja Morant for Most Improved.
That was my pick.
And Tyler Hero for Sixth Man of the Year, who told me yesterday, that's my goal. That's what I'm going out to do. Perk, what's the best bet here?
You know what? I like Scotty Barnes for Rookie of the Year. He's a guy that could go out there night in and night out and get you 15 points and 10 rebounds. We saw what Kevin Durant said about him yesterday, and every night he's starting to show us that he has more to his game than just being athletic, long, and playing with a lot of energy. He has a very high IQ. He can really play the game of basketball, and I feel like he's only going to get better, and he wants to get better. So I'm going with Scotty Barnes.
Well, and he's putting the Raptors in a conversation that a lot of folks didn't think they would be in to start the season. So still to come on NBA Today. Can't we all just get along? Scottie Pippen doubles down on his relationship with Michael Jordan. And when, potentially, maybe, might we see LeBron James back on the court? It can't come soon enough for the struggling Lakers. Plus, Giannis Antetokounmpo has been to the white columns of the Parthenon, but now